Are far-reaching indeed. All over America, children seem to be influenced. Like at the spelling bee. R-rated Canadian film Asses of Fire is #1 at the box office, but is the film destroying American youth? Here with a special report is a midget in a bikini. Thanks, Tom. It appears that the effects of the Canadian comedy are far-reaching indeed. All over America, children seem to be influenced, like at the spelling bee in Washington.
All right, this is for the silver medal, spell forensics.
Oh, fuck that. Why should I fucking have to spell forensics? Yeah! Here you go. S-U-C-K-M-Y-A-S-S. Forensics.
Tom, the devastating impact of the Canadian duo can also be seen with their new hit song, Shut Your Fucking Face, Uncle Fucker.
Shut your fucking face, Uncle Fucker. Yeah, burning bastard, Uncle Fucker. I told you that we won't stop. I told you that we won't stop.
Back to you, Tom. Thanks, Midget. Shocking report. The controversy began in the small mountain town of South Park, where the local PTA is trying to ban the movie. With us tonight is the head of the PTA, Sheila Broflovsky.
Hello, Tom.
And the Canadian Minister of Movies.
Thanks for having me, buddy.
Minister, parents are concerned about your country's entertainment. Your thoughts?
Well, the film is R-rated, and it's not intended for children.
But of course children are going to see it.
Can I finish? The fact is that we Canadians are quite surprised by your outrage.
You just don't care.
Can I finish? Hello, can I finish? The United States has graphic violence on television all the time. We can't believe that a movie with some foul language would piss you off so much.
Because it's evil.
Can I finish? Please, can I finish? Okay, I'm finished.
But, Mr. Minister, it isn't like this film is the first troublesome thing to come out of Canada. Let us not forget Bryan Adams.
No, the Canadian government has apologized for Bryan Adams on several occasions.
You Canadians are all the same, with your beady little eyes and flapping heads. You're trash.
I resent that. I find that racist.
Our children are now addicted to
your
your
You are a racist, ma'am. You are a racist.
It is going to take us weeks to erase the damage this film has done to our children.
G'day and welcome to another week of 25 Frames. Thank you for joining us again, and we're back in review mode, and if you haven't already guessed, we are having a look at
the struggle of good and evil, of death and desire, otherwise known as South Park movie.
The total extreme, you can't even call it a cartoon really, but yeah, we're looking at South Park, bigger, longer,
adult
uncut.
expressionism.
It certainly is, very, very clever satire. And I'm Travis.
No, I'm John.
And John's making a bit of an appearance after a while from not being on the panel. So this is a film we're looking at, which basically, I mean, if a lot of you would probably be really familiar with the South Park series, which is very notorious for its excessive swearing, its very overt political sort of stances that it takes.
Isn't that Parliament?
Parliament Hour? No, not quite.
No.
Not quite. This movie, like its many episodes, takes a really strong line. It follows for those of you who don't know about South Park, it follows the story of these 4 elementary school kids who, and in this case, they go along to see a fairly in-your-face movie, which is, of course, stars their favourite characters, Terrence and Phillip, notorious for their swearing and their fart jokes.
Yeah.
This that the film actually has so much swearing in it. And by the way, they're Canadian too, so it's a Canadian film, which makes it kind of quite funny. These kids go in to see this R-rated movie and they come out swearing, and they obviously influence the other kids in the school.
Oh my God. They
go off in class and saying lots of superlatives we can't really repeat on TV ourselves, but you can imagine. And they get in trouble with it, and their parents get so outraged about this Canadian film that they actually say, we're banning all films from Canada. They arrest Terrence and Philip, the stars of the film, and then they say, we're going against Canada, we're going to start war with you because you sent filth to our country, basically. And they try to eliminate swearing in films, even though, as the Canadians say...
Good luck.
Yeah, exactly. Because the point, it's actually got some really... amazing humour. It's sort of set up in a musical style. There's some great songs in here.
Beauty and the Beast eats your heart out.
Yes, definitely. It's very much
especially with that opening scene.
Oh yeah, I mean that really. I think that first clip really sort of sums up this story in a little bit, and that sort of kinky sense of humour. The midget in a bikini, which is great.
Yeah.
There's a really clever use of the characters, the Canadians. You can spot them apart because they've got the flapping heads versus the South Park people who don't. Yeah, that thing happening. So basically, you get to see there's some really great jokes in it. Some stuff which we're going to be coming up and having a look at is Saddam and Satan actually having a homosexual relationship. There's some great use of gay humour in this. So yeah, they have this gay relationship, and they.
Why am I not surprised?
Yeah, I know. I mean, they've got all these sort of great characters sort of coming in. So you're going to have to check this film out. Shortly we will be having a look at Saddam and Satan, but before that, I thought we'd talk a bit more about generally South Park and the way it deals with things.
The whole genre.
Yeah.
Well, somebody told me it was, in fact they did a documentary, several, and they said it was based on the Monty Python humour, and I don't really see or find any similarity between the two of them. One is I don't find it as typical British humour mixed with Simpsons humour as it's supposed to be.
Yeah. I think they're talking about the absurdist quality. I mean, some of it's so over the top that it is really kind of, out there.
Yeah.
But it's so clever.
That's the Python quality.
But it's so cleverly packaged. I mean, it looks like such an innocent. Like these kids look so innocent. I remember the first time I actually saw South Park thinking, oh, this looks so cute. And then they come out and say, oh, you bastard, blah, blah, blah. So now we're shortly going to cut to another clip where we're going to have a look at the relationship between Satan and Saddam Hussein. It's just a classic because they're in this homosexual relationship, which is very nice and bent. We like that on Bent TV. So let's go and have a look at that clip.
The of Terrence and Philip is imminent. Soon Saddam and I will rule the world.
Satan, I got some new luggage for a trip up to Earth. Let's fuck to celebrate.
What's it like up on Earth, Saddam? Tell me about it again.
Let's not talk. Let's get busy.
Do you remember when you first got here? We used to talk all night long until the sun came up. We would just lie in bed and talk.
Well, yeah, because I was still waiting to get you in bed, dummy.
How come you always want to make love to me from behind? Is it because you want to pretend I'm somebody else?
Satan, your ass is gigantic and red. Who am I going to pretend you are? Liza Minnelli? Don't get up, pissy.
Sometimes I think, when I look up real high, that there's such a big world up there. I'd like to give it a try. But then I sink, 'cause it's here I'm supposed to stay. But I get so lonely down here. Tell me, why does it have to be that way? Up there's so much room where babies burn and flowers bloom. Everyone dreams I can dream too. Up there, up where the skies are ocean blue, I could be safe and live without a care. Up there, they say I don't belong. I must stay below alone.
There you go. I mean, that's It's just a shame that we can't show you the whole of that song because it does
This
get
is
much
today's
longer.
culture. Satan can even take up a singing career.
I know, and how well he does it. And one thing I've got to say now, this film's actually set up very much in the style of a musical, and there's lots of musical overtures throughout the whole thing. It's punctuated with, everyone's got that
Like
sort of
those
song.
corny things Americans did back in the 70s or 80s for Christmas and Easter.
Absolutely.
That's what I found. It's
Yeah.
very similar.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. Now, what's great about it is that they've actually managed to fit in this, absolutely tight scripting. The level of comedy and it's quick-witted and really clever. The whole script is just flawless throughout the whole thing, and so is the music, the catchy tunes. Some of which, man, I wish we could play them to you. It's got so much swearing, so we had to, Channel 31. There's television standards, but. I'm actually really Trey Parker, who the guys who actually created South Park actually wrote and composed the songs, which is really amazing.
Oh God, musical careers, Poland.
Well, I think so, and they work so well. Now we've been talking to a couple of people who've seen this movie, and we were both saying that how when we saw them, how everyone in the cinema all laughed at the same time, and it is really one of those films that you are going to laugh throughout this film. It's not
laugh or puke.
Laugh or puke, and we've got to say that we would not recommend you see it unless we really, really loved it. So, fantastic film, excellent. And some of the animation sequences were great. Like we looked at in Saddam and the Satan scene we just saw before, you get to see a little bit of what hell's like and how cool are some of those flames and the demons.
Oh, they've actually stepped up their production company to get special effects.
They have. And they even, actually some bits, when they just have the boys and they're sort of animating this sort of paper cutout type style, they actually take the piss out of themselves. They're talking about the Terrence and Phillip movie and they're going, oh, I don't like the Terrence and Phillip movie. The animation's crappy. And then they cut to this sequence where the boys are walking along and it's all sort of shaky. I like the fact that they can really take the piss out of themselves. Yeah. And there's some great things that really come up in this film too, in regards to the ideas about censorship. And because basically they're trying to ban this film that has all this overt swearing and that sort of and fart jokes.
And basically it's about South Park and South Park's general release and how people were treating it.
Exactly. I think it's a film about itself in a way, which I think is incredibly clever. And so it almost justifies all the swearing and the stuff that happens in it, saying that, maybe the showing violence on TV is actually much more detrimental than, a fart joke or swearing. And I think it really throws up that sort of question. It's look, I think it's very intelligent. A lot of people would disagree, and I know people hated it too, but I personally loved it. And if you're a fan of the South Park series, you are going to love it.
Oh, yeah.
Now, shortly, we're going to go to another clip very shortly, which is looking at... we're going to talk a bit more first, but we're going to look at the character which is very close to my heart, and that's Big Gay Al, who's just a cracker. Hi, how are you? Fine, thanks for asking. I'm sure a lot of people are familiar with that line. I like the way South Park deals with its gay characters too. I think it's actually quite, reasonably sensitively put. Do you know what I mean?
Truthful.
And truthful.
We're all big, fat, selfish people.
Exactly. That couch scene with Satan and Saddam before, and Saddam Hussein is just a crack up in this too. Saddam, why do you always make love to me from behind? You try to pretend I'm someone else. And all these really funny jokes that, certainly I think as watching it as a gay audience, I thought, hey, that's really, that's really clever. That's some really interesting lines they throw across. So, again, the film is South Park, bigger, longer and uncut. And that's what we're looking at, at the moment, I think, having a look at for this week. Now, we are going to cut to this clip eventually where we're going to look at Big Al and his fabulous big USO show number. Fabulous and camp. Everything is great when you're gay, I think it's called. So we're going to have a short look at that. Thank you for joining us again for another week on 25 Frames. I hope we're back in, as you can tell, back in review mode. We're going to have a look at a few films. And we're going to go out with a clip from South Park, Bigger, Longer, Uncut. And
Sounds like a porn film, doesn't it?
Strangely enough, it does. So we'll join us again next week when we're going to look at another film, or next time, I should actually say, because God knows when we're going to look at another film. You never know.
Oh,
yeah. I'm Travis. And
I'm John.
And we'll catch you next time on 25 Frames. We'll see you at the end of this clip, maybe.
Bombs are flying. People are dying. Children are crying. Politicians are lying too. cancer is killing. Texaco's spilling. The whole world's gone to hell, but how are you? I'm super! Thanks for asking. All things considered, I couldn't be better, I must say. I'm feeling super, no, nothing bugs me. Everything is super when you're... Don't you think I look cute in this hat? I'm so sorry, Mr. Cripple, but I just can't feel too bad for you right now, because I'm feeling so insanely super that even the fact that you can't walk can't bring me down.
He's super, thanks for asking. All things considered, he could be better, he must say.
I'm super, no, nothing bugs me. Everything is super when you're... Don't you think I look cute in this hat? These little pants, this matching top, I got it firm. I'm super.
The barracks and the trenches as well.
Stick 'em up.
PKO says to us to tell.
Skittles.
Yes, he's super and he's proud to be there.
Okay.
Everything is super when you're gay.
Again! What, Carmen?